Howard Cosell. Born on March 25, 1918, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and raised in Brooklyn, New York, was a fixture in sports broadcasting. Cosell graduated from NYU with a degree in English and then earned a degree at the New York School of Law. When the U.S. entered World War II in 1941, he enlisted in the Army and eventually met his wife, Mary Abrams, whom he married in 1944. After the war was over, he was studying law, and he represented the Little League of New York at the time, and was asked by an ABC radio manager to host a show featuring Little Leaguers. While it seemed small at the time, this was the beginning of a relationship with ABC that lasted for over 30 years. Cosell started off his career with hosting the Little League program, then made his way over to be the pre-game and post-game radio host of the New York Mets. He was also the anchor of the local WABC New York station at that time. Cosell rose to prominence, however, when in 1970 he joined Frank Gifford and Don Meredith in the Monday Night Football booth. Cosell was known for his intellectual approach and his tell-it-like-it-is style, rather than the traditional play-by-play and color commentary. His most famous moment on Monday Night Football, however, was a non-football moment. December 8th, 1980, during the end of the Patriots-Dolphins game, Cosell informed us of the death of John Lennon, which people still remember to this day.
It's on the line, and I don't care what's on the line, Howard. You have got to say what we know in the booth.
Yes, we have to say it. Remember, this is just a football game, no matter who wins or loses. An unspeakable tragedy confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous, perhaps, of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival.
People called the announcement from Cosell ironic, because only 6 years earlier, Lennon paid a visit to the Monday Night Football booth and spoke to Cosell.
Will the Beatles ever reunite?
You never know. You never know. I mean, it's always in the wind. If it looked like this, it might be worth doing, right?
You did just spend the weekend with Ringo.
Yeah, and I promised him I'd mention his album out now, and I said I wouldn't mention my own, which is out now, too. Forget it.
Thank you very much,
It's been
John.
a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Howard.
Well, maybe we'll get to talk to you later in the show. Right now, we've got to rejoin the Giffer. Frank
Okay,
Gifford.
Giffer. Over to Giffer. Bye-bye.
The Monday Night Football team of Gifford, Cosell, and Meredith was incredibly successful and consistently at the top of the Nielsen ratings. Cosell stepped down from the Monday Night Football booth in 1985. Besides football, Cosell was also well known for his boxing commentary, and his most famous call came during the 1973 Heavyweight Championship featuring George Foreman versus Joe Frazier.
Dundee, Ali's trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner.
But when it came to boxing, he was most known for his backing of Muhammad Ali when he refused to enter the war and created a friendship with Cosell. Cosell called most of Ali's fights, but the two had a special relationship, to which a retired and ill Cosell paid a special tribute to his friend during his 50th birthday celebration on CBS.
It's hard to believe. All the years. Everything that's passed between us. It's so hard to believe. And so memorable. And now, it's time to say to you, Muhammad, God bless you, and happy birthday to you. And you know something? You are exactly who you said you are. You never wavered. You are free to be who you want to be. I love you.
Cosell is also famous for creating the term "the Bronx is burning" during Game 6 of the 1977 World Series between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers, in which Cosell described the scene after Reggie Jackson hit his 3rd home run of the game.
Goodbye! Goodbye! Oh, what a blow! What a way to top it off! Forget about who the most valuable player is in the World Series. of pressure. Oh, what a beam on his face. How can you blame him? He's answered the whole world.
With many famous calls, numerous controversies, and his voice known throughout the sports world during his legendary career, Howard Cosell retired from broadcasting in 1992. When he retired, he was quoted saying, "Arrogant, pompous, obnoxious, vain, cruel, verbose, a show-off, there's no question that I am all those things. I can retire a happy man." Cosell died a few years later in 1995, but his legend still remains the same. He was named the best sports broadcaster of all time by TV Guide in 1993, and many broadcasters today model their work after Cosell. There is no denying that Howard Cosell left his mark in the sports broadcasting world and left a fantastic legacy.